नहीं आया अभी। Okay, hello students. Today we are here to discuss strategy for CSAT CSE 2024. So you have 5 months with you: January, February, March, April, and May. And what should be the rational strategy to prepare for CSAT in CSE 2024? That is the topic of discussion today. So fundamentally, guys, strategy is a plan of action. So that plan is highly personal. It depends on who you are. So strategy for CSAT in upcoming attempt is is really depending upon who you are in the preparation. You have to identify for yourself where do you belong, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your fears, priorities, and that will determine the strategy that you should have. Today broadly I will categorize students into few categories, and you can gauge where do you lie, and depending on that I will suggest few things, and these are purely suggestions, and strategy has to be designed by you. Of course I am here to help. You can reach out and we can design a customized strategy for you, but broadly see, there are those students who are confident or almost there, so who are already getting good marks in mock test, who already have qualified CSAT in previous attempts. Perhaps in 2023 they may have or may not have qualified, or qualified on the border, etc. But they are confident about clearing and they are almost there. So for them, you guys just have to ensure that you don't take this lightly. You don't let your ego get in the middle of your preparation, and you ensure your qualification with ease, and you just give it due weightage, meaning you have to solve mock test. I would recommend 8 to 10 for you guys. Then you have to solve PYQs, especially when it comes to non-comprehension part. And then I would implore you to identify few focus areas and study at least those topics. These are arithmetic, permutations and combination, and then practice comprehension. These are bigger topics. I will add linear equations to it. You can focus on these areas, you can solve PYQs, you can solve few mock tests, and you are good to go. You have 5 months to go. You can easily do this, and you perhaps can afford to study a bit more for mains right now and start your prelims preparation a bit later, maybe a month from now. So you have everything under control, you are good to go, but you have to ensure that you do all these things. You do not take this exam for granted, otherwise it will haunt you for entire year. Next are those students who are underconfident, and especially true after 2023 paper. You guys are underconfident, you are not sure where do you stand. You might have failed in CSE 2023 but have qualified earlier. You have studied CSAT in past, or you are like fairly good in maths and LR. So for this category of student, of course you have to do all those things that I recommended for earlier student. But apart from that, I mean, you have to do mocks, you have to solve PYQs, you have to ensure focus areas are covered, but now you have to cover few more areas which you think are your strengths. Ensure that you get maximum marks from those areas. Those could be any topics. It may be from LR, it may be from quant, it may be from comprehension, and finally you guys need to give 1 hour practice. 1 hour practice every day from preferably today. If not today, you can start one month or 1.5 month after after 1st of January, that is in February or mid February you can start, but you have to ensure that you are continuously in touch with the subject, and that is because you are underconfident, but you have studied in the past. So all you need to do is ensure that you get more and more practice under your belt, and that you build that confidence using PYQs. And of course mocks, for you I would recommend somewhere around 10 to 12 mock tests. And third category of student is of those who are afraid of CSAT, weak in math, slow in reading and solving. If you are somebody like this, then you have to give substantial time from right now for your CSAT, because see, although it is a qualifying paper, if you are afraid about it, if you are weak in it, there is no getting around it rather than facing it head on. So you have to ensure you are giving at least 2.5 to 3 hours daily for CSAT from now on. Preferably you should join foundation course. I would of course recommend my course ACE CSAT 2.0, which is starting from 8th Jan. You can come for demo lectures, and I will ensure that you are not we are covering everything exhaustively from scratch. I'd expect no prior knowledge from you. I do not have any such expectation, and we will build all these concepts from scratch, and you can watch our course introduction video for more information, and you can join the demo lectures as well. So preferably I would recommend you to do this. Then what we have to do here is what others have done, that you have to do also mocks. Now you have to solve more mocks because you are afraid of the paper. You need to solve mocks, and not only you need to solve the mocks, you need to solve going at some exam center, because you are crumbling under the exam pressure as well. So now for you I would recommend 15 to 18 mocks for CSAT and PYQs. Of course PYQs is common for all. This is the thing I would recommend for you roughly. This is what we have to cover for next few months. Fine. Now let us look at this from another angle. Now that I have covered what kind of strategy depending upon who you are in the preparation, now let us cover strategy depending upon subjects you want to focus on. Now for quant, LR and comprehension, these are the three broad topics that we get in our CSAT papers. Now as far as LR is concerned, LR questions are very standard. There are few standard types of questions that repeatedly get asked with different numbers. Maybe some arithmetic can be mixed with LR questions as has happened in 22 and 23 paper. So LR is pretty much standard questions. So all you need to do is cover some basics about topics of LR, like say calendars or clocks or blood relation. You need to know how do you go about it, what are the basic relations, what are the basic facts about calendars, how do you calculate extra days, what are leap years, and when the calendar repeats itself, etc, etc. And then there are 3-4 standard questions, standard type questions for each topic. All you need to do is cover those standard questions and you are good to go. Same questions you will get inside the examination hall, and LRK some around 10 to 12 questions will get asked from LR section, and out of those 10 to 12, at least 8 9 you can solve. 8 9 you can definitely solve, right? Because these are very standard, you don't have to think much about it. So this is something that you can prioritize. If you are weak in LR, you can get better in LR with relatively ease compared to quant section. Then let us come to comprehension. Comprehension is again a big section having 27 questions asked, typically 27. It can get 1 or 2 questions up and down, but for past 3 years we are seeing 27 questions from comprehension section. Now major challenge that students face in comprehension is that time. One is time, either your reading speed is too low, or your comprehension abilities are low, or you feel that options are very close, or you are some students are rather afraid of comprehension, thinking that there are multiple answers of the comprehension, what answer will UPSC give, etc, etc. I mean, to be honest, out of 27 questions there will be 17 comprehensions, 17 to 20 comprehensions which will be very easy. There will be absolutely no doubt about what the answer is. Options will be very clear. Typically one option would be definitely wrong, one option would be extreme, and there will be confusion among 2 options, but one option will slightly be differing in terms of meaning than what author says. So this is about practice. Comprehension is a skill that cannot be built in a day or two. Nobody can teach you in a day or two. You need to work on it over the period of time, over the period of 3-4 months at least, so that you can be better at comprehensions. And believe me, reading speed is one of the fundamental aspects that have come about as far as CSAT is concerned, because if you have faster reading speed, you will be able to cover comprehensions in, let us say, 25-30 minutes, and you have 1.5 hours to attempt 25-30 more questions and get enough marks to not have worries at all, and to decide which questions are easier, which questions you can attempt, which questions to leave, because art of leaving has emerged as new art of attempting as seen in CSAT 2023 paper. So that is comprehensions for you. Comprehensions has some challenges in it, but many people feel more secured in comprehension compared to quant or LR sections. So comprehension is an ability you can work upon, you can read, you can improve your reading speeds. All you need to do is just time. On the day one, what you need to do is just take a standard size paragraph of any topic you are reading, any editorial that you might be reading, read it and time your reading speed. That should be your reference speed, and from that day on, all you need to do is just time your reading speed, and over the period of time you will see that your reading speed is improving and improving with better comprehension. And this is a very proven method of increasing reading speed, and I implore you to work upon it, to do it religiously for next few months, and you will see the difference. And comprehension, again, in our course, comprehension is a continuing feature. One lecture is dedicated for comprehension, wherein I tell you what does comprehension mean, why it is introduced, what are the various aspects of comprehension, what kind of questions are asked, what are their meanings, etc. And thereon, at the end of every class, we solve 2 to 3 comprehensions together. You observe me solving and how I think about it, how I go about it, and thereby picking up few facts. And because of these continuous factors, your comprehension abilities get over the period improved, because it is an ability that cannot be cultivated in a day. It needs to be cultivated over a period of time. So that should be your strategy for comprehension, that you have to work upon it daily, work upon your reading speed daily, and solve few comprehensions daily. 2 to 3 comprehensions you can pick up from PYQs. There are lots of PYQs available from 2013 to 2023, so you can solve them. Then let us come to quant. This is the section about which students are most unsure or afraid. So as far as quant is concerned, see, arithmetic is the central to quantitative aptitude now. UPSC has been focusing on arithmetic like nothing other. In last 5 years, at least 60 questions were asked from comprehensions, from arithmetic rather. And this year, I'm sure, I don't know if you are aware, but I'm sure you will be shocked to know that at least 13 questions were from basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So what you need to observe is that arithmetic has been becoming central to CSAT. And secondly, and this arithmetic is not some high level mathematics, it is the foundational mathematics. That is where crux of UPSC CSAT lies. And because we have forgotten whatever we have learnt in our schools, that is precisely why we are facing difficulty in quantitative aptitude. So we need to go back to our basics. We need to ensure that we are clear about arithmetic, basic counting principle, basic geometry, basic linear equation, mathematization, about that is converting your word problems into equation and solving them. So these are the aspects that we need to focus about as far as quant strategy is concerned. So of course, your quant strategy starts with arithmetic. That must be your focus area. There is absolutely no way of getting around it. So you need to work upon your arithmetic. Do not focus on cramming formulas. They are useless as far as UPSC CSAT is concerned. There are so many formulas that you only get confused about which to use where. That is why in our course we use as less formulas as possible. I prefer to use basic concepts. I mean, I give students all the formulas that they may want to cram, but I tell them absolutely it is unadvisable, and it is possibly very avoidable to not use those formula and use only basic logic to solve the questions that may come in examination. So that is focus area number 1. Second is again counting, permutations and combination. Third is mathematization and linear equation. See, all these things you need to cover, without which we cannot go to solve, questions or PYQs or practice, etc. Without understanding these basic concepts, it is not possible to go for questions, because these are not standard questions like they are asked in LR questions. There can always be new questions constructed. There could be new ways of looking at things. So if you are clear in your mind about what does the question is trying to say, conceptual clarity if you have, and calm mind, then arithmetic or quant can be easily done. There are enough number of easy questions from quant section as well for you to attempt, but for you to identify which questions are easy and which questions are not, you need extra time, and that time can be that time you can extract from higher reading speed in comprehension section. Then only it is possible to do quant section with ease, because CSE 2023 was the way it was. Yes, Vicky, just give me a minute, I am coming to that. Because 2023 paper was the way it was, we have to ensure that time does not become a crisis. Now, as our friend Vicky has raised the concern that CSAT 2023 paper was lengthy. How do we go about it? The paper becoming lengthy, meaning that students are facing difficulty in managing their time well. Now, why does that happen? There are of course 27 from comprehension and others from 10 to 12 from LR, and remaining about 40 questions from quant. So overall you have 80 questions. 20 questions of comprehension, how much time should it take? See, these 27 questions of comprehension are comparatively easier. At least 17-18 out of those comprehensions have no two answers. There is absolutely no doubt in any coaching institute answer keys you can check, and you also, when you read, you will mark only that as an answer. So out of these 27, at least 17 to 20 are in the category of easy and unique answers. And of course there will be 4 or 5 questions from comprehension about which coaching institutes will have differences or variances in their answer keys, but we cannot look at those 5 questions. We have other 75 questions to attempt. So if we attempt these 27 questions in 25-30 minutes, imagine if you are able to do this, then you will have 1.3 hours, that is 1 hour 30 minutes, 1.5 hours left to attempt. If you attempt, let us say 20 questions from comprehension, then you have 1.5 hours to attempt 25 questions. So you need to attempt 8 questions in half an hour, or for one question you will have 3.5 to 4 minutes in this case. Is it possible to attempt this one question in 3.5 to 4 minutes or not? Absolutely. And why is that possible? Is that once you have this 1.5 hours to attempt for 25 more questions, 25, 30, whatever, then you can go to quant question, play it, try to solve it in 30 seconds or a minute. If you are able to, go in the right direction, you will attempt that question. Otherwise, you will move on to next question. In this way, because you have this time cushion now, you can actually solve, you can actually spend some time with each question and decide if that question is something you will be able to solve or not. Otherwise, if you spend instead of 30 minutes, 50 minutes on this, and you have 1 or 10 minutes left, then you will always face time crunch, because some quant questions become some quant questions are lengthy. I am not saying they are difficult; they are easy questions, but they are lengthy. You need to methodically count, and that manual counting may take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And if you don't understand what to do in first few minutes, then it is even further. And once you get deep into the question, your ego kicks in that I have solved this kind of question, I should solve this as well, and I already wasted, now I need to get answer. So things like that hamper your ability to even cover all those 80 questions. What I would recommend is that try working on your reading speed, so that you have some extra cushion as far as quant and LR section is concerned. You can spend some few extra seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds with the question to understand whether it is possible to solve, and if not, just move on. Examination hall is the last place to let your ego get better of you. So please don't get emotional in examination hall. Calm head is your biggest asset inside examination hall, and that is how you go about it. Work on your reading speed and work on your ability to work on your foundational concept in quant, work on standard questions in LR, and that is our subject wise strategy to go about it. So if you have some extra cushion in the comprehension section, then you will be able to, if you even reach to the question number 80, then you can be sure that you will attempt 45 50 questions with and with sufficient accuracy, though that number is more than enough to get you qualified with ease. That is my recommendation, Vicky. It is becoming lengthy. It is not paper as a whole may not be lengthy, but some questions are definitely lengthy, and if you get stuck in those, that is when you will face difficulty, apart from spending disproportionate amount of time on comprehension section will become difficulty for you as far as time management is concerned. And to ensure that you get better at time management, role of mock tests is crucial. Those mock tests may not be at the same level as UPSC syllabus or UPSC question paper, but still, whatever good mock test you can get, be sure to attempt them. Be sure to attempt them in time. Be sure to implement whatever way you want to strategize. Like if you want to cover comprehension in first half an hour or second half an hour, do that in your mock test, so that becomes part of your habit. Do not, again, another recommendation, do not leave comprehension for the last half an hour when you are not calm, you are haphazard, you may have attempted very few questions, and in that frenzy you may end up attempting questions you should not have. You may end up marking something else when you wanted to mark something else. So don't leave comprehension for last half an hour. You can solve that. You should solve comprehensions in the first three half an hour blocks. And yes, attempt mock test. Depending on who you are, I have given you my recommendation of how many mock tests you should attempt. We at LevelUp IAS have our own mock test that I personally would recommend. I will design those questions. I will try to make sure that they are at UPSC standard. So you may want to attend those mock tests and ensure that you are attending mock tests with all the seriousness like you are attending UPSC CSE. And even if you get good marks in some mock test like 120, 130 marks, do not get overconfident because mock test typically may not be able to match UPSC difficulty level and UPSC stress level as well. So ensure that you are continuously working. Even if you get good marks in mock, that does not mean that you will get those marks in CSAT, CSE, CSAT. So that is what I wanted to say. You have 5 months. You can decide when do you want to begin with. If you are some student who is very afraid of CSAT, you should begin right away. We are coming up with our ACE CSAT course, CSAT Foundation course ACE CSAT 2.0 from 8th of January. You are welcome to join for demo lectures. If you are somebody who is confident enough and who is almost there, he knows, you know that you are there, then you may afford to start a bit later. You should focus on focus areas, PYQs and mock tests, and you are good to go. If you are underconfident, then you should keep on working, continuous working, daily 1 hour, 2 hours from right now or from a month from now. That would be my recommendation as far as strategy is concerned. And if you guys, if some of you want customized strategy that what suits you better according to your strengths, priorities, of course you should think about think upon it yourself. But if you need my help, I am available at the LevelUp IAS. You can call at our office and we can decide how to when to talk and when to meet, etc. You are welcome to do that. So if you guys have any more questions, you can ask. Confidence is the key in CSAT, and to build that confidence, we have to do what is necessary. 2023 paper seemed lengthy and difficult, and there has been a lot of furor over it. But there were enough easy questions for you to choose and qualify. It was about time management. It was about stress management in examination conditions. So I think that is a learning for us, that we cannot neglect it. We cannot take CSAT paper for granted, and we need to ensure that we give it due respect, due weightage. We don't know what kind of paper 2024 is going to be. Is it going to be same level difficulty, or is it going to be easier paper? We don't know that. We have to prepare for the worst. So we will prepare in a way that even if 2023 kind of paper or even tougher paper arrives, we will be able to sail through. It doesn't become elimination paper. That is our goal, that towards CSAT. And please do not fall prey to the myths that go around in the market, that it is impossible to create it, it is very difficult, only maths or science or engineering background student can clear it, or you need to study a lot of higher level mathematics. Lot of higher level mathematics get asked in examination, CSAT examination. That is absolutely not true. It is exactly opposite. The fact is that we have forgotten what we have learnt in our schools, and UPSC is reminding us of that in a harshest possible way in examination halls, that you guys have forgotten what you studied in your school days. You need to go back and learn your foundational concepts again. You need to get your concept clear. That is the message UPSC is giving us, and we need to respect UPSC's papers, respect what they want from us, and work accordingly. It is not time to get afraid, and our strategy also should not come from place of being afraid. Our strategy should be rational, and strategy should be after being cognizant about the fact that CSAT is at the end of the day a qualifying paper. So that strategy should not come from place of being afraid. It should be very rational, and we need to balance both our GS and CSAT. Depending on who you are in the category of student that I mentioned, you can work accordingly. And again, you are welcome to join our foundational course. You can come for demo lectures, see if our course is good fit for you. My motto is foundational concepts are primacy, then we can work upwards, and I use as less formulas as possible. We try to use only logic, no formulas as far as possible. So yes, if there are no more questions, I will end this live session, and if you have any doubts, you can mention in the comment section. I'll try to reply them, or you can get in touch with us at LevelUp IAS, and we shall talk more about it. Join us for our demo lecture on 8th of January, 11 AM, and I'll see you there. Thank you.